Most handlers think judging effort means asking one simple question: did my dog try? But that actually is a surface level interpretation, because in high-level retriever training, effort is just not about movement. It's about mindset, it's about attitude, it's about intent, and it's about how the dog responds under pressure, confusion, and challenge. And if you misread any of those layers, you will mistrain the dog. Effort is not the same as obedience, so let's go deeper right away. A dog can be obedient and still not giving real effort, and a dog can make big mistakes while giving tremendous effort. That distinction is critical. For example, a dog that takes every cast mechanically but hunts lazily is not showing true effort. Meanwhile, a young dog that hunts aggressively, stays engaged, and keeps working the problem, even if wrong, may be giving you exceptional effort. Effort is not perfection, precision, or polish. Effort is an earnest attempt to solve the task you presented the dog. The 5 layers of effort, looking through a real trainer's lens. When experienced retriever trainers judge effort, they are reading 5 things simultaneously. First one being line attitude. Before the send even happens, is the dog mentally present? Is the dog focused? Is the dog connected to the handler? Or is the dog distracted and self-directed? Training starts before the first mark is even thrown. Next is response to the send. Does the dog leave with purpose or leave half-heartedly? A committed send is one of the clearest signs of effort. Problem-solving behavior in the field. This is where amateurs misread effort almost constantly. The question to ask is the dog hunting with intention? Are they working the area of the fall? Are they staying in the game mentally? A dog that is wrong but hunting hard is trying. A dog that is right but disengaged is not fully invested. Next is response to pressure, and again, this is one of the biggest issues. When you handle, correct, or apply pressure, does this dog stay engaged, or do they mentally just collapse? Do they fight through the confusion or avoid the task altogether? True effort shows up most clearly under difficulty. And last is recovery after a mistake. Elite dogs make plenty of mistakes, but what matters is, do they re-engage immediately, or do they sulk, get upset, slow down, or check out? Recovery speed tells you more about the effort of a dog than the mistake itself. Confusion versus defiance. The most misread moments in dog training. Here is where deep trainers separate themselves from reactive handlers. Let's say a dog takes a bad line on a blind. The surface interpretation is that the dog blew me off. But a deeper interpretation question is, did the dog understand the concept? Was the picture clear for the dog? Was pressure stacking? Was the wind, terrain, and other memory factors influencing the dog's decision? Because a confused dog and a defiant dog can look identical, but the correction for each is completely different. Correct confusion like disobedience, and you're going to create lots of anxiety. Create defiance like confusion, and you're going to create a tremendous amount of loopholes in your training program. This is the art of dog training, especially higher level dog training. Effort over time. Let's talk about some pattern recognitions. Great trainers do not judge effort on one retrieve. They judge effort across patterns. More questions to ask yourself. Is the dog constantly engaged? Does effort drop in certain setups? Does effort change under pressure? Does effort decline when concepts get harder? Effort is a behavioral pattern, not a singular event. And this is especially important for like senior dogs that are trying to transition up into the master, or young all-age prospects. Amateur trained retrievers, like what we're trying to do. Because development phases often look like effort drops when it actually is a cognitive overload. The emotional trap for amateur handlers. This is the hardest truth for amateur handlers like me and you. When your dog makes a mistake, it can feel personal. You think, he knows this. The dog let me down. The dog didn't listen. And a classic one is, yeah, the dog gave me the paw. Well, the dog's not flipping you off. I mean, come on. But dogs are not making emotional decisions about you. They're trying to make you happy, for the most part. They are responding to clarity, to pressure, to understanding what's going on, and fatigue and mental overload. Those are big issues. If your dog is trying their guts out and still struggling, that is not betrayal. That is information. And you need to interpret that information and determine the future confidence of that dog. Let's get into some elite training philosophy. Here is the deeper philosophy I want you to carry into every training session. This is a big one. Reward effort. Hooting and hollering when they do a great job. Let them know that they did it perfectly. That's feedback to the dog. Clarify confusion. Correct intentional disobedience. And never confuse those three elements. Because if a dog feels they cannot succeed when they are trying, they will eventually just stop offering effort altogether. And that's not what you want. But if a dog learns that effort is safe, productive, and understood, that will build a retriever that is trustworthy to you, stays mentally tough, and keeps trying even under pressure. And that is gold. That is what separates confident finished retrievers from ones that train in hesitation. Next time your dog makes a mistake in training, do not ask this question. Did he do it right? Ask a deeper question. Analyze. What was his level of effort? Because when you learn to read effort correctly, your entire training program becomes a lot more fair, more effective, and far more productive. But this takes time, people. This isn't something you're going to learn immediately. Even now, after doing this for 38 years, I'm starting to recognize how to read a dog and the effort the dog has given me. I still make mistakes, and I try and look back at my training scenarios and figure out a better alternative, especially if I have a difficult training session. So again, effort is an important topic in the retriever training community. But there are three things you can get on a dog for. I mean, with an e-collar. One is lack of effort. And it's a big topic and it's a hard thing to determine. But one is lack of effort. The other one is defiance. And the third is returning to an old fault, because that's going to get you kicked out of any AKC hunt test or field trial. You will not pass or place. So those three things. So again, reading effort, you better be sure you're reading effort correctly, or the lack of effort, before you get on a dog. Defiance is easy. You're casting right and they're going left. You're casting right, they're going left. Third time they do that, you get on them. So usually pros will do that. They'll give the benefit of the doubt to the dog. But after 3 strikes, you got to get on the dog. And now they're just being defiant and not giving you any effort. Those are little things. But this is a huge, huge topic. And it's one that we'll probably have to come back to on numerous occasions. And it's a hard thing to learn for yourself. And that is why I tell everyone, record, record, record. Video record your training sessions, video record your hunt tests. That is beautiful information to get back. And you can analyze it and you can say, oh, I did this wrong, or I should have done that, and become a better handler, but more importantly, become a better retriever trainer. All right, I hope that helps. Again, this is something we're going to continue to touch on this subject going forward. But again, thanks for checking out the channel, and please like and subscribe as always. And remember, train like an amateur, but I'm trying to make you think like a professional.